Good evening, fellow women's health issues students. My name is Nicole Ryan, and I am in my second semester, full semester, I guess, but I've been taking one class at a time. So I started last summer, but this is my fifth or sixth class. So I guess I'm heading into my second year. I'm going to be taking two classes at once starting in the fall. I was taking it easy for a while, but now I'm ready to double it up and get things really going here. I am in Melbourne, Florida. I'm on the East Coast, about an hour east of Orlando. And my encyclopedia project is on women, anxiety, and alcohol. I, throughout my 20s and 30s, thought drinking and the amount that I was drinking was pretty normal until I started drinking more and more to cope with stress and anxiety and just life in general. I had always had anxiety and never really got help for it growing up. So I didn't really know that it wasn't normal to feel the way I felt. And I was always told to just stop fidgeting, or my symptoms weren't real, or it's just growing pains, or whatever. So growing up, again, I never really got help for the anxiety I was experiencing, which was due to a very strict upbringing, religious upbringing, and that emotional trauma that goes along with it. So that's why I selected the topic. It's near and dear to my heart. I have been alcohol-free for about 2 years, and I know that the many stops and starts that I had throughout my 20s and 30s never really stuck because I never dealt with my mental health, with my anxiety, subsequent depression, and probably some ADHD that's going along with that we're exploring a little bit right now. So, three of the things that I learned that were very important to this project were number one, women's brains process the loop of alcohol, or the benefit in their minds. Oh, I'm drinking this to relieve my stress. But we tend to process it in a negative loop. So we take that negative feedback that we get from alcohol and we continue to drink. The stress compounds, the anxiety compounds, and we just continue in a vicious cycle. Men, on the other hand, for the most part, because of how their brains are set up, how their brains developed, tend to take a more positive reinforcement approach with alcohol, where they don't have a stress or anxiety and then drink. Women, and throughout the PowerPoint PDF, you can take a look at my notes there, but women for the most part have stress or anxiety, and if they have alcohol use disorder, AUD, they have that stress, that anxiety, and they will use alcohol to combat that stress or anxiety, or to self-medicate. So it's more of a negative loop for women. Men who drink a lot don't tend to fit that same persona, let's say. The second thing I really learned was that there are, and I'm a proponent of this, doing what works for you when you're overcoming, alcohol use disorder, alcohol dependency, but is that AA or meetings or therapy, or whatever kind of therapy you're interested in, or that works for you, or rehab. I never went to rehab personally, but I think women need to do what works for them instead of what our medical profession, which is dominated by men, say works. So is AA. It's dominated by men, and it was created for men by men. So I think we need to do what works for us as far as overcoming an issue like that. And the other thing I learned was that women, when we drink too much, tend to black out more often than men, just because of our body chemistry. And we tend to be smaller, and it affects our organs more so than men. There are many risk factors, of course: disease, cancer, accidents, and women who drink are more prone to violence and sexual assault. So if you're drinking too much and you feel like you need to reevaluate your relationship with alcohol, more power to you. If you enjoy a glass of wine every now and then, I'm not shaming anybody, but my project is definitely on anxiety and how it contributes to or leads to AUD. And just in conclusion, really, prevention is the best medicine, and getting to young women in their middle school kind of tween years, and really teaching them, and into high school, of course, and into college, really teaching them about the dangers of alcohol, especially drinking too much. The disease risk factors are very important, and teaching them more positive coping skills and about community support and how to deal with their mental health is very important. So getting them in that primary stage of prevention is key. So if you have any questions about any of this, or you'd like to connect, or you have any questions about me and my journey with not drinking — I've been alcohol-free for almost 2 years now — feel free to message me on Canvas. All right, take care, everyone.